Assalamu alaikum. Hello, welcome back to our channel. We are the Muslim Family Adventurers. So today's video is a continuation of our How to Make Decisions video. So that is a part one of, this is a part one of 7. I might condense it into like 3 or 4 videos, I'm not sure yet. But at this moment, I'm gonna talk about the second part to this video. So if you're new to our channel, we are the Muslim Family Adventurers. We are a family of 5, and we love to share our adventures with you guys, and we love all things connected with having intellectual conversations regarding personal development, regarding personal growth, spirituality, and all things adventure and fun that we do as a family. So if you're new to our channel, please join. We'd love it if you'd subscribe. Press the subscribe button below and join our family. We are a new YouTube channel and we are growing, so we would love for you guys to join the family and really appreciate the support. So today's video is a part 2. So this is a part 2 of a series that we started regarding how to make decisions. And I'm specifically honing in on how to make large, big decisions in your life. These milestone decisions in your life that are, that kind of dictate or can change your course of your life based on decisions that you make and the path that you choose. And this has to do with those major milestone decisions, such as choosing your college degree, choosing the person you're going to marry, how many children do you want, whether or not you want to buy a specific house or a car, or those types of major decisions in your life that kind of take a lot of energy and thought when you are getting into it. And it's not something you just, close your eyes and eeny, miny, mo and pick something. No, it's not like that. It's more that these types of decisions change the course of your life, and at least in this world, and it can affect your hereafter as well. So those are the types of decisions we're talking about here. So how to make a decision and stick to your decision, stay grounded in your decision, and kind of confirm that and content with your decision, that the decision that I make is actually it is something that I abide by, and I chose it and I'm okay with it. So this is about making decisions. So the first thing in the previous video, I'll link that video below. That way I have the series in the same playlist. So I'll have that video linked below in the description box. And it'll definitely make more sense if you hear that one first, and then this is the second part to that video. So back to the main topic. So how to make decisions and stay grounded in your decisions, how to stay content with your decision, and how to actually get that process going of how to make those milestone decisions and the outcome and the results of those things. So the first thing was to believe. So the first video talked about this a lot more. It's to believe in your dream, and believe that inspiration and that feeling and that passion and all those things that come with it is from God, and He has placed that into your heart for a reason. Those thoughts and those your attraction to a certain thing is happening for a reason. You are leaning towards a certain thing for a reason. It's come and it's entered your heart. It's not something that's only logical. It's logic does come in this process of making decisions, but that initial inspiration is where it all begins. That belief, and that believing in your dream, believing in your passion, and believing in this certain decision that you're about to make, that this is something that you're excited for, something that you're passionate for. And that's step number 1, is believing in your decision, believing in your dream. And the second thing, so now we're on to the second thing. So the second step, these steps can be in any chronological order, and they can be repeated over and over again. So the second thing is dua al-Istikharah. So this is a prayer that a supplication that Muslims make whenever they're trying to make a big decision. And it's if you're not very familiar, because this is one of those prayers that's called the forgotten prayer. Many people, they don't take this seriously, or they don't think that it's I don't know, they forget, because sometimes we have to make decisions in a rush, or we don't have time. But if you can just memorize this dua and memorize the supplication and apply it to, even when you don't, like, the process to do this supplication properly is to do wudu, have wudu, have an ablution. If you're Muslim, you know what that is. It's have an ablution where you purify yourself. Then you pray 2 rakas, or 2 a set of 2 prayers, and then you make the supplication. So that's the right process to do it. But if you have this prayer memorized and you don't have time to, let's say, you don't have time to pray those 2 rakahs, and you don't have time, you don't have a clean place to pray, let's say you're at the mall or you're somewhere where you can use this prayer to even for smaller decisions. So it's something that if you can memorize this and keep it at the tip of your tongue, you can use this to make even those small decisions that, and use this as a guidance and a supplication, as to ask God for guidance, even for those small things. But in general, if you have the time and this is a major life's milestone decision in your life, do it right. So do it with this following process that I'm going to lay out for you. So this second step is Dua al-Istikharah. So Dua al-Istikharah, I'm going to get it from this book right here. This is called Fortification of the Muslim through Remembrance and Supplication from the Quran and the Sunnah. This is a kind of like the size of my hand. It's a very small little pocket book that you can keep with you and you can memorize, you can highlight, and it has prayers in here from prayer for traveling, prayer for waking up, prayer for before you go to bed, prayer for everything. Everything in Islam, when you realize like everything can be tied to God. Everything in your life that seems normal, like eating, sleeping, going to the bathroom, things that seem normal, can be tied to God's guidance, God's protection, God's love, God's mercy. All these things can be tied to it. So I think that's super beautiful that the more prayers you memorize or you get to know, you can start applying them into your life. And so you kind of have God's blessing, and you're enveloped in God's blessing in everything you do. So Dua al-Istikharah, the way I'm gonna do it is I'm gonna read out the kind of like the backstory for it and the hadith for it, and then I will say it in English. So if you are not Muslim and you don't pray, like how we do or whatever, you can just kind of like read this English excerpt, and I think it'll help you even if you're not Muslim. It's a prayer for guidance. So you're essentially asking God for guidance. So I'm gonna say it in English also, and if that resonates with you and you're able to, maybe you want to adopt it in your life and the way you pray, maybe that would be great. Otherwise, I'm going to say it in English, and then I will say it in Arabic 3 times. And the reason I'm going to say it 3 times in Arabic is so hopefully you can memorize it using, maybe like when I'm teaching my kids du'as, I usually recite it loudly and in stances, like multiple times, so that hopefully they can get the stance in their brain memorized. And so what that does is once they hear me repeat it over and over again, like we did it recently for the dua of witr, the dua when we're praying our last prayer, and the dua that we say at the end of the prayer, to get my kids to memorize it, I repeat it over and over again, but I repeat it in stances, and I'll kind of share what that means when I'm reading the Arabic out. And what that does is it kind of sticks and engraves in their mind, kind of like it's almost like a rhyme, and so it's easier to memorize that way. So yeah, let's start with it. So this is Dua al-Istikharah, supplication for seeking guidance in forming a decision or choosing the proper course. So al-Istikharah. On the authority of Jabir ibn Abdullah radiallahu anhu, he was a companion, he said that the Prophet, peace be upon him, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, would instruct us to pray for guidance in all of our concerns, just as he would teach us a chapter from the Quran. He sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, if any of you intends to undertake a matter, then let him pray 2 rak'ah of prayer, after which he should supplicate. So this is the prayer that we make after the 2, praying the 2, and then the guidance supplication is as follows. O Allah, I seek your counsel by your knowledge and by your power. I seek strength. And I ask you from your immense favor, for verily you are able while I am not, and verily you know while I do not, and you are the knower of the unseen. O Allah, if you know this affair, and here you can mention your affair, or you can just say this affair, to be good for me in relation to my religion, my life, and my end, then decree it and facilitate it for me, and bless me with it. And if you know that this affair to be ill towards me, my religion, my life, and end, then remove it from me and remove me from it. And decree for me what is good wherever it be, and make me satisfied with such. One who seeks guidance from his Creator and consults his fellow believers, and then remains firm in his resolve and does not regret, for Allah said, and consult them in the affair, then when you have a decision, put your trust in Allah. So this is with this prayer, you do the prayer, you ask others. So God, it's not like we we're supposed to take action. So we consult others in our community, family, whoever, for guidance. Also, what do you think? What's your opinion? What do you think about this? And then you stay firm in your decision. And hopefully, if you follow this process properly, you won't have regrets, because at the end of the day, you followed the steps. You believed that this is inspiration from God. You got you prayed for guidance, and you prayed for God to guide you, that should I take path A or should I take path B? And then, you can talk with your closest family members, and the ones who are your cheerleaders. I've mentioned this before, the ones who cheer you on, the ones who are your safety net, the ones who you believe will look out for your best interests, and you consult with them. And then you remain firm in the decision that you make. You take a decision, take an action, and then you remain firm in that. And almost like no regrets. You just have to, believe that I've done all the steps to ask God for His guidance. And now I will hand over my affairs to God, and He will take care of it. And He, hopefully, inshallah, you pray that God, you place this sort of contentment and resolve in your heart, where this is a decision that I make, and I'm going to stick by it. And I can't, I'm not going to, cry that woe is me, and what happened? Oh my goodness. How did, you kind of content with the decision that you make. So I hope that makes sense. And I'm going to read it now in Arabic 3 times for anyone who wants to memorize it, or anyone whose kids want to memorize it. And I'm going to have my kids listen to it also on repeat. And hopefully, we can all get this memorized. This prayer for guidance and for choosing things in our life. So here it goes in Arabic. So I'm going to say Arabic number 1. So Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Number 1. اللهم إني أستخيرك بعلمك واستقدرك بقدرتك وأسألك من فضلك العظيم فإنك تقدر ولا أقدر وتعلم ولا أعلم وأنت علام الغيوب اللهم إن كنت تعلم أن هذا الأمر خير لي في ديني ومعاشي وعاقبة أمري فاقدره لي ويسره لي ثم بارك لي فيه وإن كنت تعلم أن هذا الأمر شر لي في ديني ومعاشي وعاقبة أمري فاصرفه عني واصرفني عنه واقدر لي الخير خير حيث كان ثم أرضني به. So now I'm going to say it the second time. I'm going to try to say it a little bit faster. اللهم إني أستخيرك بعلمك واستقدرك بقدرتك وأسألك من فضلك العظيم فإنك تقدر ولا أقدر وتعلم ولا أعلم وأنت علام الغيوب اللهم إن كنت تعلم أن هذا الأمر خير لي في ديني ومعاشي وعاقبة أمري فاقدره لي ويسره لي ثم بارك لي فيه وإن كنت تعلم أن هذا الأمر شر لي في ديني ومعاشي وعاقبة أمري فاصرفه عني واصرفني عنه واقدر لي الخير حيث كان ثم أرضني به. Now third time in Arabic. اللهم إني أستخيرك بعلمك واستقدرك بقدرتك وأسألك من فضلك العظيم فإنك تقدر ولا أقدر وتعلم ولا أعلم وأنت علام الغيوب اللهم إن كنت تعلم أن هذا الأمر خير لي في ديني ومعاشي وعاقبة أمري فاقدره لي ويسره لي ثم بارك لي فيه وإن كنت تعلم أن هذا الأمر شر لي في ديني ومعاشي وعاقبة أمري فاصرفه عني واصرفني عنه واقدر لي الخير حيث كان ثم أرضني به. Again, just to summarize, you're essentially saying to God that, oh God, your counsel is I'm seeking your guidance. So I'm seeking your guidance based on your knowledge and your power and your strength and your favors, because there's no way, there's no other human, there's no human that can help, that has his power or that has his knowledge or has his strength or has his immense favor. No matter how, how powerful or knowledgeable or favorable anybody is, nobody has what God has. So we're asking for his guidance based on all the things that God provides for us and takes care of us and nourishes us, because he is our Lord, he is our Rabb, he is our nourisher, he is our protector, our provider, everything in one. So now we're saying to God, so we've kind of we praise him first, that you're saying that your God are the one who has it all. You have the knowledge, you have the strength, you have the favor, and you are able while I am not. So this is where you're kind of almost relinquishing your ego, your strength, your power, all of it. You're just letting it go, and you're saying, I'm literally coming to you, God, like a servant. I'm literally begging you for your guidance, because I know that if I were to make a decision from my own ego or from my own like, oh, I know everything or whatever it is, if you think that you're going to make a decision from there, that's not a good place to start. There's, again, because you have limited power, you have limited knowledge, you have limited strength, you're not able to see the future, and you're not able to foresight, you're not able to we are so limited in our time, our space, our power, everything. We're so limited in all of that, and God has that large scale view. So he has, and obviously he's God, and he has the knowledge, he has all of it. So this is where you're kind of like going to him like a servant, and almost like, I can't do anything, God, without your help, without your guidance. So you are able while I am not, and while I do not. I do not know anything. I literally don't know anything. This is where this is your relationship and your connection with God, where you are letting God know that God, I'm coming to you. I want to be in your grace and enveloped in your love and in your protection, because I don't know anything. I don't know anything, and I have no power. And God is the knower of the unseen, and knower of the unseen because we can't see the angels, we can't see the future, we can't see the day of judgment, we can't see hellfire and heaven. Like, those are things we cannot see. So he is the knower, the creator of the unseen. So now this is where the nitty-gritty starts. Okay, oh God, if you know this affair, this specific affair, to be good for me in relation to my religion, in relation to my life, and in relation to my end. So these are the three things that we are sort of our criteria. That is this decision that I'm about to make, is this good for me for my religion? Is this something that's pleasing to God? Is this something that's going to benefit me in this life? Is this something that's going to benefit me in the hereafter? So is this decision that I'm about to make, I don't want harm in either of these three things. I don't want to sacrifice my religion, I don't want to sacrifice my life, and I don't want to sacrifice my end. So that's both worlds. I want the best of both worlds, and I want the best in my religion. So we don't want to give up any of these things when we're making this decision in our life. So life, religion, life, and end. So if it's good for me, then decree it for me. Then let it happen. Let it work, and let doors open. Facilitate it for me. That means that God, open up these doors. If something, like, to me, this is when I pray this prayer and doors start opening so quickly for me, that's a sign where it's like, wow, that was impossible yesterday, and now today, all of a sudden, I get this email, and so says, this has worked out, and this we've accepted, or your application went through, or things that were just out of the ordinary, that are almost seem impossible, but then the doors start opening up one by one. To me, that's just, it's like, okay, God is guiding me. God is guiding me. God is guiding me. I've made my prayer. I've made my supplication. I've handed my affairs to him. I've asked him for guidance. And now these doors are magically opening for me. So God is facilitating that path. It's almost like he's lighting up that path for you. And so the lights keep turning on, and you just keep following the light. That's your job. It's just keep following the light. So God makes these things easier. And So what else? And bless me with it. So if this thing is good for me, make it blessing and make it positive and happy and joyful for me if this decision is meant for me. If something starts feeling like a drain or a stress or something that causes anxiety, keep me away from all of that. So bless me with it. And if so now you're moving on to, if you know that this specific decision or this specific affair to be ill for me towards my religion, my life, and my end, those three criterias, then remove it from me and remove me from it. So this is important. We're asking God to remove us from that thing and then remove that thing from our heart, because sometimes we're making a decision and we think that something is good for us and it's actually not good for us. And I mean, this has happened so many times where it's like, I wanted something and it didn't work out, and somehow still deep in my heart, it's like, oh, I wish I got that thing. But what this dua does is you're asking God to just remove that from me and make me content That's what it is make me content with my decision. So make it so that this thing is removed from my heart, and that thing is removed from my environment. Make me environment away from the thing that's bad for me, and then remove it from my heart, so I don't feel regret, or I don't feel, like, oh I wish. I don't want to feel any of those things. And decree for me what is good wherever it be, and make me satisfied with such. And so instead, when you remove that thing, put in the good thing. So remove the bad from my environment, remove the bad from my heart, but then put in what is good for me, put in what makes me content, put in what makes me satisfied. Because at the end of the day, we know of celebrities and everyone who has all the things, but they're not satisfied. Why? It's because the contentment, the satisfaction, something is missing. And so we're asking God, with the supplication, that whatever happens in my life, whatever decision, whatever path, whatever I blessings I obtain, whatever I don't obtain, whatever it is and is written for me, just make me satisfied with it. Make me content. Because at the end of the day, the true happiness is not the things you have, it's the fulfillment and the contentment. And so, so this dua I think is beautiful, and I think it's important. And if it is a forgotten prayer, and if it's forgotten in your family, revive it, and kind of use it as a way, almost like a beacon of hope and of guidance, that anytime you feel like you have to make a decision and it's hard, or it's difficult, or you're not sure what to do, oh my goodness, this things are getting hard in my life and I don't know what to do, I don't know if I should take path A or path B, turn to dua al-Istikharah. It is a very beautiful dua, a very powerful dua, and it is the crux of making this whole decision proper process. Like this I think is the foundation to this whole process of how we make decisions, is dua al-Istikharah. It should be like an instinct that anytime you need to make a decision, this dua, I have it memorized, so it's on my lips, that anytime I'm at the store and I need to decide between, should I buy these white pants or these black pants? I mean, it's just simple. I know it's simple, that it's silly, like why do you have to make a prayer for it? No, but for me it's like, sometimes I can't make a decision on my own, so I use God's guidance. I use God's guidance to guide me and to give me that inspiration in my heart, that whatever's good for me, bring it close to me, whatever's bad for me, take me away from it. So I hope this helps. This is a very, very beautiful dua al-Istikharah. I highly recommend that you memorize it, and even if you don't read Arabic, or you're not Muslim, the English, it's just stunning. It's beautiful English, and it just kind of hits all the things, where it's okay to have the best in your religion, the best in your life, and the best in your hereafter. It's okay to want the best, because many times we think we have to sacrifice one for the other, or we can't have it, or something. We have these limiting beliefs we tell ourselves. We get too scared to try things that we don't want to, try new things in our life, and we don't have the courage to try those new things. This prayer, use it as a guidance instead of the limiting beliefs and the fear of what will people think, or is this good for me, or is this too hard, or am I allowed to do this, will my husband let me, all those things. Instead of using that as a guidance, use the guidance of God's guidance, and use God's prayer to be like, if this desire is in my heart, it's here for a reason. What do I do with it now? So I hope that helps. Again, this is a part 2 of our how to make decisions, and I'm specifically going to hone in on large scale decisions, milestone decisions in our life, and how to make those decisions, and how to stick by your decision and stay content with your decision. So I hope this helps. This is part 2 of a part 7 series. I'm going to say 7 for now. We'll see how this goes. But a part 2 of a part 7 series. Part 1 talks about believing in your dream, believing in your decision. If that inspiration comes to your heart and it speaks to you and it creates passion and excitement, that's a good sign. That's also when the fears kick in, and oh, never mind, I don't know if I can do it, all that kicks in. But if you can kind of get past that, and if you can come to this step 2 of coming to dua al-Istikharah and asking God for guidance, it helps to solidify your belief. So we're on step 2. So step 1, believing. Step 2 is dua al-Istikharah, and to asking God for guidance in the specific inspiration that you have, or in specific dream that you have, or the specific decision that you have. So I hope this helps, and have a great week, everyone. Take care. Assalamu alaikum.